Hi everyone and welcome back. My name is Juanita and I'm in Zone 8. Today I wanted to come out here and deadhead my daylilies so that they can bloom all summer long into fall. And I thought that this would be a really great opportunity to share with you how I deadhead this so that that can happen. And not only so that you can get blooms throughout the summer into fall, but just make your daylilies looking really beautiful throughout the season. Now, daylilies are called daylilies because they only last one day for the flowers and then they get spent. Now, one thing that I want to point out that I really would highly recommend is to wear gloves when you're dealing, especially with daylilies that have color like this, because when they are spent and you pull them off, these have a dye on them. So if you don't want to look like you're bruised, gloves would be really a great idea. But I want to show you the different stages that daylilies take to grow out and bloom and stay out bloom like this beautifully. And then I want to show you how to deadhead them properly so that you can have continual blooms. And what to do with the stem once all the blooms have completely died off. So I'm going to bring you really close to show you all these steps. So if you love daylilies but just don't know how to care for them, this would be a really great video for you. So in this little area right here, there are like 8 different stages, if not more, to get to a full-blown daylily like this. So I will share how you can identify a seed pod from a flower bud. And this is a prime example. But let's start with the flower bud. When your daylily starts off, it'll start off with a little flower head like this. And it'll go into a second, and then a third, and then a fourth, and then a fifth, and then it will completely bloom out like this. Once this is spent and it starts dying down, let me see if I can share a good example. So this right here is when it starts to die down. When it gets even to this stage, it starts forming a seed right at the very bottom of this whole flower. So when it gets to even this stage, you really want to take it down and snap it off all the way down, because this, if I open it up, you will see the seed pod forming. And once it starts forming like this, it'll eventually get like this, which will tell your daylily plant as a whole, I am done. I'm done blooming. So to continue to get your daylilies to bloom is to snap that off completely. And you want to remove these because these are of no good. So just get rid of them. And that is the different stages. And then once it gets even more spent, as it continues to get spent, you just want to continue to remove those spent flowers. When your flowers are like in a cluster like this, it's really easy to knock off these buds. So just handle it really careful and snap it off. Now, when it gets to this stage, all the flowers have died off and you're left with just a stem like this. You want to follow that stem all the way down with some clean nippers, and you want to follow it all the way down, as far down as possible. And you can either pull it out or you can snap it off. And that is how you can have continual bloom. So let me show you again. With these spent flowers completely done, you want to follow it all the way down, as far down as possible, and you want to just take that off completely. So this is a really good example that here you have some flower buds, and then that stem right here, this stem here has a flower bud, this has a flower bud, but this has none. You can actually snap that off just like that, and that'll make your plant a lot healthier, and it'll provide some new shoots coming in. So like right here, see this has a flower head here that's going to bloom, but this has nothing in it. You can just snap that off completely. Same thing here. Just remove those, because what will happen is that your daylily is going to say, oh, I'm all cleaned up. I can put out new flowers. And this is what you'll get. You see that new flower head coming up? And that one over there? That is the result of cleaning your daylilies the proper way. Now, when your leaves turn yellow, it's because it takes a lot of energy to form that flower, and so it's removing the energy from the foliage itself. But it's not really about the foliage as much as it is about the flowers. So don't worry about whether you're stripping all of the foliage off or not. You're not going to really strip all of them. You're going to strip a good majority of them to make it look pretty, but you're not going to strip all of them. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and clean it up, and then I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Okay, guys, I hope that this was really helpful, and I hope that you guys will have continual bloom, because this will literally bloom all the way into fall, and this is one way to have that happen. So when you don't wear a glove, this is the end result of all the dye. Now, it's not harmful. It's not going to stay on your skin. A little soap and a little bit of scrubbing will remove that. Hope you enjoyed this. I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.